the weight of the fight, fist pounding in the dead of night. Crumbling walls can't hold us in. We'll rise again from the wreck of sin. Burn it down, let the fire consume. Light the night with the scars of the doomed. Screaming loud till the heavens shake. No turning back when the foundations break.
All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I am your lovely host, Rich Giordano, and it is Hump Day, Wednesday, June 25th. The year is 2025. Do you feel alive? I had nothing. We are back. Yeah, we had a little bit of a break here for a few days, but we got the ship back on course and we're making headway. Tonight's show's just like going to be a special because I'm still not me. I'm probably going to be just talking about some things in about the Buga Sphere. Yeah, you can be tired of hearing it all you want, complain, that's fine, but this is what we're talking about because it's really interesting shit that's going on. And if it's real, it says a lot about what I know. And that would make me really, I would feel insecure if I was wrong about calling this thing a hoax. Because I sincerely feel it's a hoax. Why? We'll get into it. There's things, and the weirdest thing of all, on my show, I played the Sphere video when it came out, and there's an edit that really disturbs me. And I just spent an hour trying to find it, skimming through all of my, the last 20 shows. I can't find it. I don't know why. I can't find the original Buga Sphere video anywhere, not just on GUFON. So that makes me think that edit that I'm so curious, it's in my show somewhere. It's just I'm not seeing it for some reason. But I'm going to go through all my videos again and I'm going to look it up because there's some tomfoolery going on. Now, third phase of Moon is in real close with Jaime Maussan on this project of the Buga Sphere. And I'm going to play their video from last night. It's fantastic. They got the guy who recovered the sphere. He talks about it candidly and openly. It's really interesting. I think it'll answer a lot of questions you might have that I had. And I find the whole entire thing interesting because I really don't know. I'm just going with a hunch. And the reason I'm going with the hunch is because they can't get the damn thing to fly again. All of a sudden now it doesn't fly. And then they showed some debunking and things like that, which I am myself going to try to debunk with my own drone tomorrow. And I just, when you look at this whole thing, it looks fantastic. It looks a lot better than the Moomy Doomies. Dyslexica. Dyslexica? That's dyslexica. When you can't even say dyslexia. So, I want to talk about this tonight. This is, I think, an important part of ufology's history. I think we're just kind of just laughing along as we're playing along, waiting for the shoe to drop and the answer to come out. And I don't think we're going to get that answer in Mexico. Now, Danny Sheehan, and I'll get to intros and say hi to everybody. Danny Sheehan's real worried they're going to bring it to the government here and never see it again. He might be right. There's so much unbelievable stuff that it's amazing over a thing that doesn't even fly anymore. I don't know, it just landed on the ground. The grass turned, brown. It was dehydrated. I don't know why. Why they talk like Stallone? They're Hispanic. Sorry. Mexican. Sorry. Spanish. That's right. Colombia. Who's here tonight? Thank you guys for coming over to GUFON. Cindy Krause is here. How you doing? Glenn Collins, what do you say? How do you be? Jammer Travels. Tardy? What are you talking about? Get on time. Glenn Collins. Oh, I already said that. Brooke is, huh? All right. Welcome to the show. Hey, Dan Peters. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Samo, Goofonian Rockstar. What's up, Chief? How you been, man? Hope you're all right. Hey, Dorothy. Yeah, thank you for the $2. And the glad you're back message, Rich. Oh, my God, Dorothy. That was the top 3 of getting sick all time. And that was only a 3-day event that I went through. Number 1 is the 12-day event. I lost 8 pounds in 3 days. I don't know where it go. Well, it's all fluids, and I didn't eat till today since Saturday. So imagine not eating Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Imagine going 3 days without eating, just drinking water. It sucked. But I'm not going to talk about that. So we're back. Thank you, Dorothy. I appreciate you being a, friend, longtime follower. Thank you. Supporter. And GUFON does rely on your support. So if you have a kindness in your heart and you have the extra kindness you can throw this way, it'll help keep us moving, flowing, and going every day. And all the links are in the show description. You know what to do. We appreciate it. Thank you. Stavros Stavro, how you doing? My God, has it been that long? Good to see you, man. Oh, I'm so happy. A lot of people showing up. Hey, New England Dirt Roadie, how you doing? I'm all right. I feel good today. At 5 o'clock last night, at 5 p.m. I didn't, I'm like, there's no way I'll be okay tomorrow, And then 3 a.m. I was like, I still feel it in my stomach. And then I fell back to sleep, woke up at 5, and I was starving. Yeah. You know what I did? I went to McDonald's because I was so exhausted from throwing up for 3 days. I could barely walk. My legs were just so tired. If you ever thrown up just once, twice, you know how, So it makes you tired. So I didn't want to stand in the kitchen and cook. It was easy for me to drive to McDonald's, only 2.2 miles away. And they custom made me a little scrambled eggs, and I didn't have, the regular fried shit, but I did have a sausage patty. Yeah, I did do that, and that's okay. And it was good. And then I had another breakfast. I went to my mom and dad's about 3 hours later, and I ate breakfast again. And that was 2 eggs, English muffin, just keeping it light, because I got to get. And then 2 hours after that, I had a sandwich I made, a nice turkey sandwich. And then I had my weight gain drink about an hour ago. All right, let's get started. Hey, thanks everybody for hanging out. If I didn't say your name, doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a lot of show to do, and we do. Rotary, hey, people on X, how you doing? Dave, what's up, everybody over there? Rotary Matrix. Nice to see people on X taking a second or two of their day. Appreciate you. Vern Dude. Rochelle Higgy, how is everybody? Shelly Michelle Morrison, the legend. How are you? How's your friend? How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Rich Leadfoot. All right, guys, let's get going. Brian Yates, I just cannot not say hi. All right. Metalhead, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks. All right, here we go. We're all caught up. Kelly Lewis, hey, thanks for the inquiry and appreciate that. I got the message. That was really nice. All right. So, like I said, I think the Buga Sphere is a hoax. You have to go in, imagine being the person who found it allegedly found it. But if that guy was hoaxing it, you would have to, well, I'm going to show you the, let me just show this to you and we'll talk because it's easier that way. This way you're not like, you're going to tell us twice. Yeah, so I don't want to do that to you either. Here it is. This is so good. Third Phase of Moon is just really stepping up their game lately, actually, with the Sphere and hanging out with Jaime. You know what I mean? And working with Greer. They're in the thick of it. They are. They've thrown themselves in the thick. They're in it. They're like, they've always been like just there, you know? But you may see them in a congressional hearing soon. Probably recording, but they'll still be in it. All right. Those guys are working hard. And they don't work hard. They work smart. They are the smartest workers I've ever seen in my entire life. No, I'm serious. They have this movie making thing down to the second. It's amazing what they do. All right. I'm just gonna play the video. We're gonna watch most of it. So sit in, enjoy. What's up, Chicken Coop? Confidential, and let's just take a look at. I think this might be history in the making. I mean that, or I'm right and it's a hoax. I hope I'm wrong. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, we've got the special report for you tonight. We've got updates with regards to the Buga Sphere. Jaime Maussan has a sit-down interview with Dr. Stephen Greer with insight of what makes this thing tick, the science behind it. In tonight's episode, we're also going to be showcasing Daniel Sheehan and his statements about this incredible discovery. Are we on the brink of something huge? Now buckle up, we've got the video. The audio was dubbed by Jaime Maussan in English via using an AI voice, but the information is amazing what's coming in. Thanks, Jaime, for sharing. Now watch this.
To see the sphere. What did you find? First of all, it is clearly an anomalous object and I see it as having multiple possibilities of origin. But I think before we draw any conclusions, we are doing some tests.
All right. We are going to break it down. Okay, multiple origins, but you can't give us one. Not, for example, Earth. Nothing.
We have brought in very competent scientists to look at the metallurgy, the composition of the metal at the isotopic level, which allows us to determine whether it is from Earth or from outer space.
Have they really got the best scientists?
There are ways of doing this using isotopes. The other is that in the Buga Sphere, around the equator, there are holes and dark spots that contain a polymer, and this polymer contains carbon. So we are going to do some state-of-the-art carbon-14 testing to determine its age.
Cool.
For example, it could be 2,000 years old, and if it has been around for that long, it predates any possibility of it being a modern man-made object.
Yeah, I got to stop it here just for one more second. You guys know, you've seen the marble work and all of those things they did. Nobody would make something that shady and not 100% precise. I mean, that looks like a shit job to me, that Buga Sphere. That's not I don't know if that's art or I don't know what this is, but I'm telling you, man, this thing is ugly. You know what I mean? I mean, it's beautiful and it's ugly, but is this from space? I mean, you can see the spinning from the thing that probably made this, the scratch marks or whatever the hell. I don't know. And why touch it? If this thing came from outer space, it's radioactive. What are you, nuts? They go, it's a ball. I probably won't interrupt.
For
much.
example, it could be 2,000 years old, and if it has been around for that long, it predates any possibility of it being a modern man-made object.
Hmm.
Another part of what we want to do is look at some metals that could contain oxygen in their composition. There's a way of analyzing the oxygen to determine whether it is from terrestrial or space-based isotopes. These are very detailed scientific studies for which we have collected very small samples. What's interesting is that while we were doing this, and you also discovered this in your studies with the polymer, you see tiny, almost microscopic optical fibers, but the fascinating thing is that there are optical fibers.
See, this is where I wouldn't
This is
know.
not something that we would manufacture in the modern era with our machines.
I gotta get a metallurgist.
It's
Is that
an
what they're
integral
called?
part of the structure, as if it were molded in one piece with all these components integrated into the structure of the Buga sphere.
Right, scrap metal, fake. Exactly.
And this
I'm
is not
telling
the
you.
typical terrestrial fabrication that we know of, unless it comes from a very ancient civilization that theoretically could have existed thousands of years ago and had contact with an extraterrestrial civilization.
Oh my
This
God,
brings us
that's
to the
so
question
funny.
of its age. Has it existed on Earth for a long time? Hundreds or thousands, maybe tens of thousands of years in theory. Is it of extraterrestrial origin, or does it come from an Earth civilization that could have had contact with extraterrestrial people, or even beyond that, hundreds of thousands of years?
Do you know, I thought of that power off. I thought the same thing. I thought it was a Nerf ball that had that logo or design similar to it. I swear, I see it like a Mandela effect. It's so funny you said that.
With an advanced human or non-human civilization. This brings us to the question about the mummies, since they are clearly not Homo sapiens or humanoid, but they do have humanoid formation. So if they come from a similar period, there could well have been an extraterrestrial civilization in South America or different parts of the world that had these technologies that we don't know about.
You know, everything that Greer's saying, this guy I was going to say, it's weird because you're not hearing Greer's voice. So in a way, I'm hearing it in a new perspective. And I still feel the same way with the words that were coming out of the mouth of this AI thing. So I know that I don't lean a certain way because I like or dislike somebody. I like facts and I like them to make sense. And I like evidence to make sense. And I like everything to make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, there's something wrong. So when I hear Greer's voice in this AI voice, yeah, I'm hearing words that I would still reply the same way as if he said it. It's like, make it make sense to me. Right? So far, we all feel the same way in the chat room. Oh, I think I've seen this logo before, on a whatever, bike, a ball, or some gym equipment. Who knows? It all looks very familiar, but I think that's because we've been conditioning ourselves to, they've been conditioning us one way or another, and we're watching these videos all the time, so we see sphere, 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 sphere. So that's what they're doing. They're drilling this into our heads with the Moomy Doomies, and it makes no sense to me because they're both a bunch of horse hockey. No, I mean it. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on in that part of the world, the Jaime Maussan part of the world. And I like the guy. That's the sad thing. He's such a nice, kind, gentle soul, but I think the guy's ego is bigger than all of us combined, bigger than Greer's, and I think he needs to have these imaginary wins that nobody can, well, I don't know if they're paid to say what he wants them to say, guys. I think it goes that deep. I'm not kidding around. I think Jaime's got some pull, I'm serious. Maybe I better watch out what I say.
So these analyses will give us clues about how they might have evolved. Now, clearly the way it's spun, I'm convinced those videos are legitimate. It weighs about 10 kilograms or 22 pounds. Something like that heavy, moving as much as it did with the need for a solid power source and also to keep it from moving because there were no rockets or propulsion. So this goes into a whole area of study of the science of UFO motion. How do they get from point A to B without fuel? Where does the power come from? And how do they cause this levitation effect, because it was clearly floating and moving like this through the atmosphere until it hit the power line, which I think shorted out, and then it landed on the ground.
It hit it hit a power line? I didn't know it hit the power line.
Which I think shorted out, and then it landed on the ground.
Wait, I don't see it hitting a power line. Does anybody see the Buga Sphere hitting the power line?
Effect, because it was clearly floating and moving like this through the atmosphere until it hit the power line, which I think shorted out, and then it landed on the...
Okay. Do you see what just happened? Greer, or whoever this is, added a lie into the story. There's no proof in the videos we've seen, because we would have said, oh my God, that hit the power lines. Maybe there would have been sparks, right? But hitting the power lines, is that the right word that he meant to use? Or did he meant to say go below the power lines? That's a big difference. Because, you know, hitting a power line is pretty severe for something metal. Just saying. And then it just hung around, wobbled, and then decided, oh man, I got shocked. And then, no. See, that he just added in a falsity into the story. Didn't even happen. No, it's not on video. Why wouldn't that be on video? Do you know how important that would be to see? Unless it is on video and they're not showing us because, you know, the spark turned purple and gray and yellow. You know, some stuff like that they'll make up. Nope, nothing on video showing that hit a power line. See, you dissect it and the lies start to come out. They just start unfolding like a breakaway chair. What?
Because it was clearly floating and moving like this through the atmosphere until it hit the power line.
It was clearly, guys. Yeah, clearly. Like there isn't a drone 100 feet up. Come on. I'm telling you, this is all done by drone. If that thing weighs 22 pounds, that's a powerful drone. I'm telling you. My drone can't lift that at all.
Which I think shorted out, and then it landed on the ground.
I love this man.
When you look at it, it's almost like a real three-dimensional object. It's certainly anomalous in the way it flies.
You see where they cut it? That's where the edit takes place. That's where the edit takes place. Right? A second after that. Right after it goes into the well, not a second, maybe 5. After it goes into the brush, the camera, for some reason, points at the guy's feet and then starts walking, and then it's like the scenery changed. But they played it off like the camera was down, pointing at the ground, and then he lifted it back up. But that's not what happened. Okay, in a way it did, but here's what really I think happened. The thing went down, right? And then he brings the camera down because they got to make the fake. And they do the edit, and then they splice it, and then they're in a different location. I'm not even kidding. The guy's already moved. I don't know where to. It looks like a different area. And then next thing you know, he's lifting the camera up. And we've seen these types of edits a million times. And this one was so obvious, it's not here in this video today. Because everybody knows, because I mentioned it. I don't know if other people caught it, but nobody else is talking about it but me.
Explained with conventional aerospace
and then it magically disappears.
Technology.
I'm sorry, let me go back a few
It
seconds. I was
looked with
talking a lot.
conventional aerospace technology. It looks quite old, but at the same time it's decorated with hand-drawn engravings, and we found that some of those symbols were seen by a military man. A Green Beret who was at an underground base in Indiana. And this gentleman, we just interviewed him last week, and he saw an extraterrestrial communication device that then created almost like a heat wave, and on it, as it got closer, there were all these symbols. 4 or 5 of them are on the Buga Sphere, at the top, at the North Pole.
Right, it's interesting. We got Dr. Guerrero over there in Mexico looking at the Buga Sphere. Jaime Maussan, we're in close contact. We're asking him to see a flight performance by the Buga Sphere in front of our cameras. We'll see and let you know when that happens. But now, in this next clip, after you heard what Dr. Guerrero stated, he believes the videos are legitimate, and there's a lot of anomalies on this that makes you think that this could be the biggest discovery that the world's ever seen. Now, Daniel Shee.
You know, it's just like the Moomy Doomies. They look so silly. Like, how could it be real? Everybody's noticing the etching on this. I mean, even the equator, the holes aren't even. You know, they're all like off-centered. They're not perfect. I mean, look at this. And this just, it looks like somebody went here and then they made a line, and then they made a line, then they made a line. It's like they didn't even go smooth around here. You can see. Look, here, we go straight line from here to here, and then another straight line from here to here, and then another straight line. You know what I mean? They couldn't even do it right. Like, they couldn't even keep their hands smooth because we don't have the power tools to do it that right. I wonder how many of these are going to be showing up making believe they're real. And look at the hole on top. That's where the string went in. You understand? You see where I'm coming from? You hear what I'm saying? That's why the thing always stays north and south. That's why this thing isn't spinning in the sky. All right? All right.
Be the biggest discovery that the world's ever seen. Now, Daniel Sheehan, constitutional lawyer, speaks up. He was there, and he had some statements that's quite curious with regards to this. Listen.
Great.
And this issue of UFOs and the possible extraterrestrial civilization that at least many of these sightings represent is the most important news in the history of our human family, and I ended up representing the media. I tried the case that established the right of journalists in the United States to protect their confidential news sources, to protect whistleblowers from unjust authority. As you know, I represented the New York Times as part of the legal team to obtain the right to publish all of the top-secret classified documents that reveal the unjust decisions that were made during the Vietnam War. So I developed a practice like this, and that's why I've been working with the UFO people who are trying to uncover this and make it public. And this is the most important issue. And related things like the Nazca mummies, as they call them, and the sphere, these are things that potentially unlock secrets about the UFO phenomenon, and that's why we want to be very careful not to let national security take over this.
We all know what would happen. You'd never see this stuff ever again. You want to know what I think? If it was real, excuse me, my throat's still a little Zimbabwe'd. If it was real, we would have never seen this stuff. If the Buga Sphere was captured on video, that's all we get to see. We don't get to see the close-ups. We don't get to see the microscope shit. All that stuff would go bye-bye. Can't give it to the government. I hope it's real. I really do. This one doesn't hurt. I hope I'm right, but I have a feeling we all can see through this very thin veil that I don't even think this is a really good effort to cover it up. There's a lot of mistakes already. Unless I'm really... Am I that far out of touch with reality on this? Am I really just looking for things? See, that's what I'm afraid of. But then I see your comments and you guys kind of feel the same way. Hey, one or two of you are like, no, it's real. Well, I tell you why I don't think it's real right now. It's the only thing that could change my mind to see it fly. To see it and to hear it. I don't want to see it on a TV screen. I want to see it done live. I want to see it done, where there's a lot of people. Everybody knows there's no drone carrying it around. And that's what I want. And for all we know, guys, there could be two of these. One of them could have been 1 pound and the drone could easily move it around, or 5 pounds, whatever. And then they switched it with the heavier one. Who knows? Hey, you're going to go this far with a hoax. You might have thought of it. They thought of a lot of stuff. But it all looks so damn hokey. Just like the Moomy Doomies. For those of you who don't know the Moomy Doomies, the mummies. I still said Moomy. Stupid. Oh, Sheehan Daniel.
Could they? Oh, yes. Just like the United States, the US military went into Mexico, expelled the military and took UFOs that crashed in Mexico, just snubbing the Mexican government.
In Mexico?
They're not going to get away with it.
But they already have. Hello. I haven't seen any aliens. Have you? Have you guys? Balcony seats? We got people in the balcony tonight. How are you? Yeah. How you doing? Just by yourself? Nah. I'm joking. No, stay there. Where are you going? Oh, now he's in the center. Okay.
This time the people through you and your offices have had access to this and have ensured its legitimacy. You also with the bodies played a critical role in protecting it from falling into the hands of the national security state, and you are working to share the information with the people. That is the key. I am the ombudsman, so I am here to help with that, to protect this. So it would not be a good idea to take the sphere to the United States to investigate it there. No, you must not enter the jurisdiction of the national security state of the United States.
No.
You must not even try to take it to Congress. What would happen is that immediately the intelligence agency would go to the Intelligence Committee, and the Intelligence Committee would go to the Armed Services Committee and say, this has military potential.
That's all they care about.
This is a new form of levitation in communications or something like that, and they would confiscate it, so you cannot go there.
It's such a new kind of levitation. You don't even see it working.
You must not bring this to the United States.
Oh, I don't do that.
They could come here and look for it as long as care is taken, and they make sure that the Mexican government, as we've seen, has tried to get everyone to turn over their photographs if they're willing to assert their continued resistance to the unjust actions of the Mexican government.
This is great.
And if they're resistant to giving in to the demands of the U.S. intelligence community, we can protect this. And I'm confident that we can protect this, because if we start from the beginning, make it clear that they're preparing to resist this, and we put the right legal structures in place, we can protect these secrets. So this should stay and be investigated here. Yes, it should be investigated here in Mexico. Yes. By Mexico, well, by any international scientist.
You want to know why? Anybody want to take a guess as to why he wants to keep it in Mexico? Other than that the American government would steal it? What's the other answer? That we could live in fantasy land as long as we want. Yeah. It'll go down as the greatest find ever. The Buga Sphere, evidence from wherever, right? And never flew again. Why? Because it chose not to fly.
And if they bring them here, they have them come in.
20 years later, they're going to have the anniversary. You know, they're interviewing the Buga Sphere, and the Buga Sphere goes, they're asking it questions. So, Buga, yeah, we understand you won't even race your kids, little ball and D-ball. You won't run anywhere, not even to the store to catch a bus. What gives? Well, why don't you run anymore? Hey, 'cause I choose not to run. Good answer.
And do the inspection.
You heard it here, folks. The Buga Sphere chose not to fly, to run. To run.
With the
You know, the Buga's originally from Jersey. Southside.
University, so that the experts are available and they share the information. This open source flow of information as it develops will allow people to participate in the investigation.
Act like you're working on a problem. Act like you're really busy, like you just figured you figured what E equals MC squared is. Watch.
This open source flow of information as it
interesting.
develops will allow people to participate in the investigation.
The whole thing's
it's a
an
good
act.
idea to open up the investigation and let people know whenever we do something.
The whole thing.
That's right. Treat the research as open source,
Yeah.
then invite people to participate so that they can observe the research regardless of how it unfolds, so that they can trust it.
Put a 1 in the chat room if you think they need to open it up somehow. Hey, Jammer, no, I haven't yet. Is it out? I didn't know it was out yet. I've been sick for a few minutes, so I don't know the last 4 days. But I'll have to take a look. I didn't know it was out yet. I really... No, and I haven't seen it. I didn't even see it behind the scenes this time. Because exactly, look at all those 1s in there. Open it up, baby. That's the only way. Wait until you see. Oh, this is so fun. I tell you, I love this episode.
If we find
For
any
me, I
evidence
like
that
it.
suggests there might be
Maybe
some
I'm weird that
question
way.
about whether some group of human beings did this, well, we'll follow it wherever it goes, okay?
You know why I tell you this? Because it's literal history in ufology. Remember when the Buga Sphere, 5 years from now, we're going to go the Buga. Remember Buga? Yeah, whatever happened to it? I don't know. It's still in its case. Still on stage, being touted around, $5,000 a peak. So it's with Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Mausan and friends. Yeah, something like that. That's what this is. That's the money grab. It's going to go on tour. They're going to put a slit in it and make it a bank. And the money disappears, right? And then it just starts showing up in random people's pockets. Now, that's a trick. That's what I want to see from a sphere like that. Make people happy. Not flying around and shit. Who gives a shit? Do something we need. Hey, look at me. Ooh, ooh. Tell me a story. Wax my car. You know what I mean? I got weeds out front that need burning. Unbelievable. All right, I'm tired of Sheehan. He's putting me to sleep. Nice guy, but, you know. Oh, this guy, Eric Burleson. Yeah, he's a genius.
Yes, the good news is that we have a UAP task force, a disclosure task force that deals with everything related to the secrets that the federal government has kept hidden for decades. These topics include the JFK assassination, the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., the Epstein list, and UFOs. I focus specifically on the UFO phenomenon and leading that initiative. Are they helping? Are they getting closer? Is it difficult? It is extremely difficult. It is very, very, very difficult. We tried reaching out for a long time, but we didn't know who to talk to, and our staff and the oversight committee staff didn't know who to talk to, because if you don't know where to look, you're just wasting your time.
Do you know that is probably the best answer of the night? Power off. Yeah, good one. You know, he doesn't believe it. I think my reason is the same. Not that it's not flying for us. All of a sudden, it just decided to go on, break. But it's because who has it? It's the same guy. It's the same Jaime Maussan who gave us the Moomy Doomies that make no sense, right? And then he brought us the clay action figures, the mannequins back, 20 years ago, right? And nobody can afford to do this. He said, it's too expensive to make this Doomy. It's too expensive. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you kidding me? Nobody can afford to make a dummy? Sometimes their brains just misfire, I think, All right, let's get... Eric Burleson doesn't really say anything I'm interested in, to be honest. He just repeats what he wants to hear. And wait a second. Oh, no, this isn't... Wait a second. I'm freaking right now. Let me see something here. I got to go on my history. I didn't watch many videos today, so let me see. I just got to go back a few minutes. All right. No, okay. This is crazy. Okay. What is going on? I'm having a Mandela effect. You know that? That's twice. That's so bizarre. All right. So the video I watched today. Oh, it is here. Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, all right. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't slept a lot, okay? Here we go. Appreciate it. Here we go. You'll see. Not this, but hold on. Let's see what he says. What's this about?
Like the paparazzi UFO, just watching civilians on the ground. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. We're going to roll the video coming in just moments ago. Take a look at this.
Nope, I was wrong. It's not in this video, but there was a guy. I'm really freaking out right now, and I think I just figured out what I did wrong and ruined part of tonight's show. I was in my other account, RSA, and I wasn't in GUFON when I was watching UFO videos today. I always try to remember to switch back between the topics so I don't make that mistake. Brother-in-law. That's okay. So there was a guy who showed a drone carrying this, 5-ounce, 7-ounce ball, trying to show that there's pendulum action. There's no pendulum action in the Buga Sphere video, right? Hold on. know what I did, but here it comes. Yes. Come to Papa. Yeah, that's right. Oh, this is bad. I think I'm being invaded right now. Do my eyes look different? Look at, they look weird. I'm not doing that. Whoa. Oh, look, it's normal. What? What was that? This is getting on my Minerva. Yeah, my dirty finger. That was from cleaning out I had to get tar. That's what that's from. I thought I got that out. All right, it'll go away. So anyway, he's showing the thing, and I'm like, that is not, because he says the debunkers are saying that it's a sphere hanging off a drone from a string. And then he says you would see the pendulum, the swinging. No. Do you get it? Do you understand? Do you know why we're blurry? I don't know, but I'm scared. I'm a little scared. Excuse me. I want to show you something because it's blurry. So instead of listening to me be blurry, I have me explaining what I'm trying to explain now from earlier short today. Hello, everybody. It's Rich from GUFON. I just got done watching the conference they did on the sphere. Look at my shirt. And there was a guy who came out who said, all the debunkers, you're wrong. This is not being propelled around by a drone with a string attached to the sphere. So the guy shows, a 6 or 9 gram ball attached to a drone, and he's flying it. And you can see it's definitely a pendulum action. You can tell this is a sphere that's flying under its own power, or somehow it's getting the power to fly, but it is not being propelled by a drone. Actually, that has to be the dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's not debunking. That's only confirming. Look, you can't tell if it's on a pendulum unless you see the actual thing it's attached to. So if that guy videotaped that, deleted the string out of the video, you couldn't tell it was a pendulum action. You would just think the sphere is floating left and right. You can't tell unless you have the string shown. Absolutely absurd. I'm embarrassed. The Buga Sphere is a hoax. You guys are falling for this hook, line, and sinker. Wake up. If they can't fly it now, it's never going to fly again because it wasn't done by magic. It was done by something mundane. And I don't know. It could be from a drone, a big drone, pulling it around. All I know is they're not flying it. Now they're talking about Tesla. Give me a break. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It makes no sense. The whole thing is a hoax. I just feel it in my bones. And of course, Jaime Maussan is part of it. Jaime Maussan's been part of how many lies? Hoaxes? Too many to count. That should be telling right there. I'll see you guys tonight at 7 o'clock. Still blurry. But that's what I was trying to say. I just said it much better earlier in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So, with that being said, where do you stand on this sphere? Right? This is really getting on my Minerva. I think we got it here. Here we go. It has to catch it right from the beginning. There we go. There we go. Come on. Get the light. Throw the light. Oh, right there. Bring this here. Good. Ah, you did it. This is why they call me the light sword master. Huh? No, they don't. Not anymore. And it's broadsword master. So we're in a situation where people believe that this thing can fly. And yet, in the video, there was no distortion field around the perimeter. You'd think you would see some sort of distortion field, maybe, whatever it's flying off of. If it's electricity, I would think you would hear like, you know, that sparkling clicking noise that a plasma ball makes and all that stuff. Or no, I mean Jacob's ladder. Yeah, zzz, zzz. Love that stuff. I could stare at that for ever. And how now I got to get the video because the witness today spoke and I said I was going to play it. Let me see what I did wrong. I don't understand how I don't know where the video is. Oh, that's right. It's on the other account. Hold on, let me switch. Hey, man. You know, I slept 4 hours in 3 nights. But I slept 4 hours last night. So I've had 8 hours of sleep in 4 nights. 3 nights, 4 days. All right. All right, here we go. Let me go in the histoire. All right. Huh. Here it is. I found it, guys. Oh, this is good. This episode you're in tonight just got much better. I'm glad you guys are hanging out for this. I said earlier in the beginning of the episode, this is history, and I'm not kidding. It is. Now you're going to hear from the witness. This is the guy who captured the... He's very candid. He's very likable. I almost get the feeling like he's an actor. Or he's a class clown. But this guy's got confidence. Hey, Phil. Phil McClark, everybody. Jason. And I feel like this guy, I don't know, man. But he's a really good witness. A good keeper of the sphere. Go.
All right, so as the special report right here at Third Phase Moon continues now, after Stephen Greer made some statements, it's incredible. We're getting the person who recovered it, the farmer himself. He takes some questions. This guy, if this is 100% legit, and it's looking pretty interesting what's going on over there, and hopefully we get more science on this.
Definitely.
Team with Dr. Greer is working on it, but if this is what it is, this guy right here, he's the one that brought it to the world. Listen to what he has to say.
Testing. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for this invitation. My name is Jose Restrepo. I'm the person who found the sphere. It's very exciting to be here, but I'm nervous at the same time. I'm nervous because obtaining this sphere is like obtaining a signal which is aware, a signal which is conscious, a signal which is peaceful. And I also feel proud because I gave it to David, who's an engineer and who gave it to Maussan. So I feel proud because I told Mr. Maussan, you are a very important person and you can transmit this reality to the world, because there's been other spheres that have been kept secret. So this is unique. And for a citizen, I obtained it. I had physical maladies, but it was just temporal. When I picked it up, my mouth dried up and I had a metallic taste in my mouth. And there are other videos that said that I almost lost my life, that I lost my tooth, that I lost my hair, but those are only rumors, of course. Here I am, giving eyewitness testimony. Thank you very much.
I appreciate the honesty. And he didn't have to bring that up. He could, if he was, dirty, he would have left it in there and said, let them figure it out. I'm not going to mention it. But he mentioned it. That to me is a little bit of a credit.
Why was it that you face the public for the first time right now? He's a shy person, but he allowed us to share his name so that the world knows who found that sphere. Why didn't you want to be made public?
I find this answer interesting, and I'll tell you when he's done.
I have 2 children.
Jaime asked him, how come you didn't want to go public? I'll play it.
I have 2 children. I have 2 sons, and they don't like too much attention. I think it would be best to be discreet, but when I saw the investigation being done by Mexico's Autonomous University by Rodolfo Garrida, I decided that it was something serious, it was something real. So when I told...
Okay, I find the answer really weird. I'm just weird this way. Like, why would you worry about your kids and then just because it goes to a science department that you find credible, oh, it's okay to put my family back in harm's way? See, when things don't make sense, something's wrong. Unless he's just not that bright. But I don't know him. So it's very possible, folks. There's not a lot of bright people out there anymore. Everywhere. Yeah, it's an epidemic. But anyway, all kidding aside, he's being pretty good about what I think I wanted to hear. Saying what all right, go ahead.
Told David, go ahead and ask Maussan if he's interested in obtaining this sphere. It's like a treasure. Do you think it's dangerous? Yes, I do think it's dangerous. Even treasure hunting for gold can also be dangerous as well.
Hey, thank
By
you, Vern,
just
dude.
obtaining something, because the government will show up all of a sudden asking for that material, archaeologically speaking. Now imagine something
Mucho gusto generoso, Vern, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
like this. It's something unique that we have it. What happened to you physically when you were carrying the sphere home? Well, there's a picture where I'm carrying it on my belly, and that night I felt nausea, I threw up, I felt bad, and
Me too.
I went to the doctor, but I did not want to tell him the truth. You didn't tell him the truth? No, I didn't want to tell the doctor the truth. I remained quiet. I told him
Okay. Interesting point number 2. You find an object that you think is a gift from God. You get sick because it touched your body on the way home when you were taking it back home. And you're not going to tell the doctor what happened. See, common knowledge should tell this man that doctor-patient confidentiality is real. However, Mexico is a whole other city, country, world, right? Yeah, well, maybe I'm wrong there. But either way, I think they have the same thing. It's universal, pretty much. So, he didn't know? You could tell your doctor that shit, man. Just don't tell him you want to commit suicide or anything. They'll lock you up in 2 seconds. That's all I got to say. But that's it. I don't know. Yeah, let's move on.
it was some
Just
allergy
babbling.
or something. And how do you feel right now? Right now I feel fine. I feel happy because we're transmitting this information. So the video is authentic? Of course it's authentic. And you can see it with the close-up. When it was right next to it, it started humming. The sphere started humming,
Here
and
we
that's
go.
when I turned around and looked at it.
However, I want to go back those last 10 seconds. You see, I can't. I just realized something. This isn't the guy's voice. I can only go by the words that the translator's speaking. Oh my God. Can't do, Jesus. But anyway, there was a delay there.
The sphere started humming, and that's when I turned around and looked at it. It was the humming that called my attention, and that's when I started filming.
See, he said it twice. It was like he had to get himself back on track right there. That's what a liar does. They repeat the same things a lot to reaffirm, right? I went around the back of the house. So, I went around the back of the house and there they were. That kind of shit. He just did that.
It was around 8 minutes, and it was cut, but we were changing from one place to another trying to get a better shot. So, number one, there's magnetic fields. Number two, you have high voltage lines nearby. And these high voltage lines transmit electricity at 10,000 volts. So what happened?
Wait. You mean to tell me when I'm walking on the sidewalk and those power lines that are above my head across the street, they're throwing out energy, like electric energy? That could take down my drone? You mean, how come my drone works? It doesn't short out my drone when I go by those power lines. We got a lot out here in Florida. Interesting. Yeah. Right?
The sphere got too close to the lines. It got too close
I don't know why that's
to
funny.
the cables that apparently were 10,000 volts. There's a small spark, and yes, it was like burned over because I saw the spark and I saw how it impacted the sphere.
Yeah. Guess who didn't see the spark? Us. You didn't get it on video. We did everything we could to get it on video, except the most important part of all, when it hit the power line and knocked it out of the sky. Good job. You really tried hard. A for effort.
I listened to the short circuit because it was more or less a few feet away from here.
He listened for the short circuits. He knew? He's been here before? He has psychic powers? This guy's amazing. He is the perfect holder of the drone sphere. Holy crap. I wish it was a drone. I'd feel a little more comfortable. But now we've got spheres every day. It was drones for 7 months. Now it's going to be spheres for 7 months. And what next? Humanoids? Oh, we got Moomy Doomies. Oh, this is getting out of control.
There are certain people who say that the other sphere is different from this one. No, it's the same exact sphere. It's the same sphere that was filmed. It's the same sphere that I picked up. It's the same one.
I just got hungry for Taco
I was
Bell.
getting ready to go,
want Taco Bell.
and when I realized all the grass was dried up. It was sitting on the grass for 15 minutes, and it dehydrated the grass.
Wait a cotton picking minute. Then you and I haven't seen the whole video. Because remember, if you remember the video, the sphere lands, the camera goes to his feet, lifts up the camera, and the guy's bending over picking it up. They made it seem like he got there within seconds of it landing. Not letting it sit there for 15 minutes. I don't know. There's just a lot of holes in this story. And I don't know if I'm digging them or if they're there. But it seems like some of you believe it, just like me. If it's not going to fly, it's a lie. Put that in the chat. If it won't fly, it's a lie. No, I mean, all right, if you want to.
Well, we
Fly-
realized that the
Fly the lie. Fly the lie. The sphere, fly the lie. Oh, I'm going to make a t-shirt. We're going to get a whole store. Nah, we'll never do it.
land was dehydrated.
But I like that. Fly the, what'd I say? Fly the lie. But nobody would know it, just us guys. You know, us 30.
The day after,
I'm sorry, how many we got? 176.
actually. And I put my hand on top of the soil. Were you afraid? Well, yeah, I was afraid, but I was also curious.
Yeah, I was afraid, but I was more curious. And even though I have two beautiful children at home, I put my life in danger because, you know, I'm curious like that. Stupid. This guy's IQ is under 68. This guy's a full retard. He is. I thought he was good. This guy's an idiot. Full retard mode. You know, he's like Homer Simpson. Nah. I almost lost it. Oh, I'm tired. I want Taco Bell now.
When I got a hold of it, it was so impressive.
When I got a hold of it, my hand shrunk. Look at it. It's a plum. All right, I'm sorry. I smoked a little. This is good shit. Yeah, what is it? I don't know what the name of this stuff is if it's new. Oh, I'll figure it out.
When I got a hold of it, it was so impressive that I did get a little bit scared, but I also felt internal peace. What? Yes, I felt internal peace, like tranquility. On the inside, at home, there's a bed, and it was emanating feelings of tranquility, of peace.
Or maybe it's like the I don't know, like the rabbit catching the snake or something like that. What's that? You know, like he feels like something good happened because that's the story they told him to say. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
Did you ever think that you would be here in Mexico doing an internationally televised press conference? Never.
Oh, you might as well ask him, do you ever think you were going to be at the Playboy Mansion? You know, I mean, come on, man.
Never imagined this. I'd like to thank you for being here with us. No, I'd like to...
Yeah, Jaime always got to put himself, I'm so good, I got you all this exposure. We got your sphere. We make a lot of money together. We're going to go places, you and me, forever, entwined in ufology. Amen.
thank all of you here. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being courageous. What do you think of all the people that discredit this? Well, yes, there are certain people who say that they had it made and they send it to you by mail. I was just laughing. And that you bought it on...
Is this James Fox? Is this James Fox? Look at this guy. Look what a weirdo. He's weird. I knew he was a weird dude. Oh, by the way, I want to recommend a movie I watched while I was dying. The Accountant 2. It is really fun. It's a weird movie, but I like weird. It was directed weird, but it was really good. It was funny. It was good. I loved it. The Accountant 2, starring Ben Affleck and John Bernthal, whatever his name is from The Walking Dead, and Painkiller. Painkiller? What was his other movies? Pain Stalker? Night Killer?
what do you think of all the people that discredit this? Well, yes, there are certain people who
Yeah, look, is this James Fox right here? Is that a yes?
say that
Batfleck.
that they had it made and they sent it to you by mail. I was just laughing. And that
Look
you
at 'em.
bought it on Amazon and they sent it via Federal Express.
What is he smiling about, the weirdo?
And that's the exact same sphere that I found. It's the same one that was filmed.
Well, why
It's
wouldn't
beautiful,
it be?
actually. I do feel proud. We feel proud for you as well.
Proud to be a Mexican in a Cuban country, 'cause we're gonna throw up. Dun dun dun, by putting the sphere on my stomach like a dummy.
Well, thank you very much.
Shut up! Jeff Garvey throwing down a $5 super chat. The seating chart is great. How did Alberino get next to Greer? Are they tight? I don't know. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. It was good. You're right. Wait, where is it? That's not it. Let's go. It's over here. Isn't there another section? Yeah. No, you don't see Greer. Oh, there's Greer right here. Yeah. Hey, Reesh. Taking a selfie or video. I don't know. It bothers me. People don't know how to use cameras anymore. I don't know what I'm saying. All right. I think we've got one more clip I want to play from here. Oh, yeah. The guy who tries to debunk it. I showed you what I said about this theory. Take a look at what this guy does. And this is not even good.
He says these things are real.
Thank you, Jeff
the
Garvey.
Debunkers got it wrong. Listen.
Continuing supporter of GUFON.
Artificial intelligence, we can discard it.
Appreciate that, bro.
So, I did an experiment through, now you'll see, through a drone, a simple drone making a model. Okay? In this case, I used a G-mini drone that can support a limited load. 0.90 grams. 90 grams. That sphere currently weighs 10 kilograms. 100...
Okay, in your minds, I'm going to shrink me here. In your minds, I want you guys to imagine this thing is not connected to a string, and you will not see a pendulum action. So imagine if it was edited, it would look just like a ball, you know? It would look like the Buga Sphere. Now, I didn't see the Buga Sphere make sharp stops. It was all gradual, just like a drone. And it would have to be on a non-windy day, I would imagine. All right, go.
33 grams. It initially weighed 2 kilograms.
Hey,
We have the testimonies. We have the photographs. What else do we need? It's false,
we need
right?
it to fly,
We have
dildo.
photographs of 6 kilograms and we have photographs of 9 kilograms. That is evolving. What has been said today is that the first measurements on the Purnell scale were giving 330. We are talking about double the aluminum alloy used in the aerospace field, including NASA.
Guys, am I right? Or does that look like the Buga Sphere flying around, but not really? It looks just like it.
It has been modified. It
Look
has
at it,
lost.
stops,
Its
it goes
weight has
back. It's
increased, and there
perfectly,
it is.
it's
Perhaps
identical.
dead. I don't know. I want you to pay attention to this explanation. With this explanation, we can
Flying
show the world
dildo.
that yes, we can visually see
Maybe.
something that resembles it, but look at its pendulum movement, and obviously it weighs 90 grams because it is a reconstruction and it is a drone. There are currently drones that can support large loads, but not just any
Hey.
drone can lift 10 kilograms. Okay? I want you to observe the pendulum movement it has here. The important thing is that it does fly, airplanes fly, drones fly, UFOs fly.
But you wouldn't know that.
Flies fly, animals fly, and Superman too. But the fact that they fly does not mean that they are the same.
You wouldn't know that if
What
the
we
string
observe
wasn't
here,
it, if you weren't
gentlemen,
able to
is
see
that at
it.
some point it will collide with a...
And if the ball didn't bend, right? First of all, he has so much tape on it that when it pulls it, it's pulling the ball. You have to do it, if you're going to do the experiment, you got to go directly on the north of it, right into the very top, the North Pole. You can't have it spread out open like that. That's not a good way to do that experiment. But you can see there's no difference. It's pretty much the same freaking thing flying. All right, they got some other stuff I think they're talking about, intricacies and stuff.
But give us a big thumbs up for the special report and the ongoing investigation. We're in close proximity to Jaime. We're talking to him all the time.
It looks just like it, right?
We just want to see it fly before our cameras. That's what
it's
we're
the
asking.
same thing.
Hopefully we get it. Stay tuned for that. Now, a new UFO video just in. Watch this.
Hey, Jeff, that's what I do best. I'm a ball puller.
Una pelota que está allá.
I like to pull balls apart with my teeth. All two of
¿Qué
them.
pedo con esa onda? Tira como una luz alrededor y está estática. Aquí en Colombia hay un montón de estas esferas.
Yeah, you know. No, oh, there goes a bird.
Vean,
Look at this one, though, huh? This one's now... Oh, it's not hoovering.
y le tengo
See how
todos
it's
los
rising?
píxeles puestos al
It's
celular.
rising. It's rising.
Está estática.
And also, if you haven't noticed, the clouds are going in the same exact direction. Could it be a balloon? Pretty much going almost the same speed,
Miren,
but
tiene
because it's
como-
lighter, it's going the same direction as the
Va
cloud.
subiendo.
Haciendo
Tiene como luz
the caboose.
arriba.
The caboose. Alright, does this thing start moving or what?
¿Qué será eso?
Well, we're moving on up to the north
Subió un poco.
side, where the Buga Sphere doesn't fly high. It landed
Está
on the
lejísimos de
ground,
aquí.
landed on the ground, and it
Estoy en
got
Medellín,
hit by a
Colombia,
lightning bolt.
precisamente en Sabaneta.
We finally found
¿Qué
a
se hizo?
piece of Buga
¿Se perdió? Ah, no, ahí está. Ahí está todavía. Vean.
On tonight's episode of the Buga
Es
Sphere, the
precisamente
Buga meets Jaime.
igual a la...
A Buga Buga. A Buga Buga. Is
A la
that how he
esfera de Buga.
speaks? See. Hey, look at.
Bueno, que es un avión lo que va pasando acá. Es un avión.
Did you
que
see
se
the
le fuera.
Tic Tac fly by? This guy got a Tic Tac. He got a Buga Sphere.
¿Qué será eso?
It's still moving the same direction.
Aquí en Colombia está pasando cosas muy raras.
It's still rising.
Okay, I'm going to do a side
Pretty
by
good,
side
though,
comparison. The
for a
original
balloon.
to the left, and I zoomed it up approximately 300 to 400%. Obviously, there's something up there in the sky. We're getting a pretty good look at it. Brent, what country is this coming in from? It's broad daylight. I'm digging this.
Oh yeah, it is daylight.
Yeah, like I believe this is coming in from the South American region somewhere. I can't give you exact coordinates, but what we are looking at is, again, real legitimate footage of, again, it looks like the sphere, the Buga
Yo,
Sphere.
how
making
about
its
bringing it in
appearance
frame
once again,
for us,
and
huh?
Now we have it on camera. These things are
Yo,
raining
snap ahead. I wanna
basically
see
across
it.
the sky in that region, and we've seen it now in Russia,
Unbelievable.
China, and even in America. The
balls on
videos
these
are flooding.
spheres.
It seems like it's not
Third
just in
phase
that
of
region
balloon.
anymore.
Oh
This
my
is a
God, that is
worldwide
so original,
phenomenon
actually.
happening.
That is.
Japan
that is
and
funny.
other countries, I'm sure, are
Oh, they would like
receiving
it too. That's a funny joke.
information with regards to the people,
Third
the public
phase of
filming these
balloon,
things
balloon,
on a
balloon.
daily basis, 24/7. It's happening. And again, we're
Hey
broadcasting.
man, they're
here
in
from
it now.
Hollywood
Third
Hills. We
phase.
wanna
They're
know
right
where
in the
you're
middle
chiming
now.
in
They're
from.
like,
we
you
want to
know,
also
taking
let you know
over.
we're thinking about a symposium where we could
They're taking over. I'm going to put the link to this episode they made in the show description for those of you who didn't see the whole thing, want to see without my jibber jabber. It's really good. And I'm glad I found it. You know, I just have a problem with it not flying. All of a sudden, it just decides, I'm going to say I hit a wire. I'll say I hit a wire. I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest here. Here you resting? Bing. Didn't I tell you to go screw your mother? Good fellas. So, the Buga Sphere, I think, could easily be hoaxed. I think everybody's being fooled. Oh no! I have to show you one more thing. Don't leave yet. It was in the beginning of the video. It's real important to tonight's show. that I show you this. Okay, I have to show this to you. This is good. This got me going today. This is the part. I can't believe I almost didn't play it.
People want to know what makes this tick. We have science review
This is amazing.
over this phenomenon, and it's basically
This is my favorite part of the whole thing. I can't believe it.
mind-blowing. What we're going to hear tonight, we're going to go in depth of what
I'm gonna
happened
hide.
in Mexico moments ago. Listen up.
This nucleus that was observed, as Engineer Avila said, we can observe that there are 3 different densities that are involved. Let's let the video run a bit, and we'll have the image on screen any moment. This is the nucleus, and it's real. This is an image that was made of the sphere, that was made at the university. It's a tomography. As you can see, there are certain holes right here that are located at the equator, which is right here, right through the center. We got the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. When I saw this, I asked myself, once again, where's the energy source for it to levitate? Reason for which I started investigating how satellites have a cable and they can be charged through the cable. But I was reminded of Nikola Tesla. Nikolai Tesla experimented with his famous tower, the Wonder Cliff. Let's see what he did. As you can tell, this Tesla tower, if you see it vertically, you can see that there's a tube that goes down the center, which is an electrical conductor. It goes underground, and we have certain pallets that are being generated with the current. It generates an electric current, and it's distributed up top. And when the plates move, it generates the necessary charge. Let's move forward. So then I asked myself the following. What if we grabbed the Tesla tower and we inserted it into the sphere? And since there's no river to generate those electrical charges, according to science, is only through friction. You should rub those materials together to create friction. And then I thought of this. Next image. When I generate electrical charge, we would have a field. But let's stop for a moment. Let's go back to the previous image, please. These charges are going to be distributed throughout the sphere. But there's something that is very important. There's a physical property within physics that tells you that the addition of magnetic fields that you can add to a sphere, they will counter-arrest each other. That's the Gauss law. The electrical field is equal to 0. But what if we make it rotate? So there's friction at the center. So when we start to make the sphere rotate, we start generating different fields.
All right, the special report continues.
But the sphere wasn't rotating. It was static as it moved. I know is that an oxymoron? But, it stayed in its position, basically, north and south, east and west, and, moved about. And I have no doubt in my mind that this is a hoax. And I'm going to find that video that is eluding me for some reason, but I'll find it with that edit because it's in my show. So I'll find it by tomorrow. And you'll see this edit. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about it, but if some of you do remember, you guys saw it and some did, some didn't. So it's not a perspective. It's there. I just think you have to know what to look for. And tonight we saw a lot of things that needed to be brought up and questioned. The guy's story, for one. Why would you go up and touch it? Why would you not want to go public for, oh, my kids, but, oh, they're going to study it. Okay, everybody's okay to die now. It doesn't make sense. When things don't make sense, something wrong. And he had a lot of things. There were 4 major things. I can't remember them all, but I know the number was 4. 4 major things that guy said when he went to the sphere, this, that, and the other, that didn't make sense. Touching it, all of a sudden forgetting he has a family, going public and all that. What are the other 2? I don't know. I can't remember. But there were 4 because I stopped at 4. I remember holding 4 fingers in my lap. Is there more to this? Do I need to keep going?
Continues right here at Third Phase Moon. Give us a big thumbs up. Now, coming up.
Oh, no.
Right
that was the part I wanted you guys to hear. We already heard Greer. Let me see what this is real quick. Maybe we didn't hear. I don't think you guys did hear this.
Confirm the research doing, to consult about further tests.
Yeah, you haven't heard this.
And to do whatever we can do here. I think for the reason of OPSEC or operational security, it should be in Mexico and not in the United States, frankly, because I operate in the United States and it's very difficult. That's the epicenter of the global security state, keeping this secret. Not that there aren't components here, but
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Then why don't they have American scientists go there? Do they have different equipment? Because if they have different equipment, well, then that's a whole new ball game we're talking about. Because different equipment could mean better results, different results, no results. I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm right. I don't want to be right. I don't. I hate being this guy. I do, but I can't help the way I think. Because we've been let down so much. And this started for me in the first 6 months being in this field. I've been doing it 21 years now. It's, takes a toll on you. You want something to go through. Please, all the shit we've thrown against the wall, can something stick? Nope. It's all too much. The weight's too heavy. The lies are too deep, and it falls. The whole house of cards shit. All right.
but there it is a problem. So much so that members of Congress are routinely denied information. So I think that the other point is the scientific studies, what we want to do would include looking at certain isotopes that would determine if those metals appeared and were originated off-planet or on-planet. It's very difficult to do, it's expensive, but that's what we're going to try to do. We want to try to carbon date it from the polymer if we can get enough. We want to be able to also advise on certain physics tests that can be done. And the gentleman mentioned spinning it and what have you. We have some ideas about that. One thing as to remember, an extraterrestrial device is very different from a manufactured human 21st century. And here's how. They're usually of one part. The components are all seem to be melded together and appear as one.
Bob Lazar.
Whereas a man-made object is this.
Like Bob Lazar said, it was kind of made out of a Jello mold. It was just one configuration, just never. There was no hard edges, no screws, rivets.
This part, this part, this part. So there are man-made UFOs that are known as alien reproduction vehicles. We have a lot of them. We started making them. My uncle was Northrop Grumman. Lockheed has them, Raytheon. Those are parts and pieces, and they look like a manufactured object. The extraterrestrial vehicles are seamless. They tend to be similar to this. This has some differentiation, and they tend to have the functional components in.
Oh, this one has seams in it. This one's got seams in it.
created as if it came out of a singular mold. Now, the manufacturing that's extraterrestrial involves a type of what's called trans-dimensional physics, where you set up an energy field and it aggregates the materials together and forms it as a whole, as opposed to us digging something up and welding it together in a machine shop. So we know the difference between extraterrestrial, say, manufacturing and 21st century human manufacturing. Now the question is, there have been extraterrestrial involvement with this planet for probably millions of years, certainly for millennia, and is this object from a prior extraterrestrial involvement, or even an ancient civilization that lived here that was perhaps even human or part human that made these? This is why we want to be able to date it. If it's 5,000 years old or 2,000 years old, that's a
I'm going to blow my own mind right now. What if this is Atlantean technology that finally found its way to the surface after being underwater, after being buried for 12,500 years? It found its way out. It burrowed its way out. Who knows? By vibrations, liquefying whatever's in front of it until it gets to the surface underneath whatever rubble it was in and made it to the surface. And then making it, seeing humans, maybe it did run into the wire and short itself out. It wouldn't know. Oh, what is this thing? Ah, you mother bitch, mother. Oh, shit, I feel dizzy. Oh. And then it goes to the ground. Buga Sphere captured. If you were the Buga Sphere and had intelligence, would you be moving about for the strange humans? Or would you go back into your cocoon where you lay for 12,500 years and never move again? Or wait for your opportunity to GTFO? That'll never, ever happen. Just my way of thinking, maybe that's a possibility, because all of these ideas are just as equal, because nobody knows except for me. It's a hoax. Get over it.
huge bit of data, because at that point you realize, well, it can't
Or it's an Atlantean drone. Yeah, right.
be anything made recently,
I'm willing to meet you halfway.
Because aluminum has I think needs 10,000 degrees to smelt it. We didn't have aluminum till pretty recently, and other components. The
Aluminium.
other question is looking for various elements that may not be even in our periodic table. So in other words, it could have elements in it. But this is a very, very esoteric level of astro science and physics, where you have to employ very specific labs, and the labs receiving it will not know it came from this. So what we're going to do is more like a double-blind situation. The testing laboratories will have no idea the origin of it. But no, the device, I think, should remain here in secure hands. At some point, we do want to figure out the physics of it, because one of my objectives why I left my medical career was when I realized they were keeping this cabal of fascists and sociopaths have been hiding from us, the people, the means to have free energy, no pollution, no poverty within 20 years. And look at the world that we have now, on the brink of nuclear war. It's ridiculous. So I think we can do better as a people, and that's what we hope to do. So.
Oh, what a great political message there at the end, huh? Give peace and harmony for everyone. Thank you. God, he's such a wonderful human. The grift just never ends with that guy. He's working every last sentence to the bitter end, right? He drains it out. I mean, he gives you every bit of grift he can give you. He's a grifter. He's a true grifter. I liked it. I liked the what we talked about tonight. I think it is going to be history. Is it going to fall on the good side of history or on the bad side of history? I'm just, I already said it a million times. I think it's a hoax. I think we're being played. But if not, please just fly. Fly the lie. That's all. Fly the lie. Put that in the chat room. Right, Nah, how you doing, man? Well, yeah, and Glenn Collins, what are you saying here? Why don't they ever talk about the TR-3B Black Manta Triangle because it's patent for the American Navy and Lockheed Martin Skunk Works and CIA private corporations as well? Yep. That's exactly why. And that's all I can give tonight. Taco Bell's calling me. I can't. I don't know what else I can do. I got to fill my needs. Yeah, this is a strange episode. I don't know about the Buga Sphere. All I know is it stopped flying when we needed it to fly. And that's it. That's the whole thing with this thing. If it flies, the story jives. Put that on a t-shirt. No, bumper sticker even. Hey, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Appreciate coming back, and I know we've been gone a few days, but we're back for now. And, we just keep going until we don't go. But I want to thank the moderators, as always, and super chatters. Thanks for helping out. Thanks for supporting the show in many ways. And newcomers, veterans, and new members, thank you all for chillaxing at GUFON. The new and improved GUFON. Feels like it to me. I don't know. I feel new and improved, at least today. I'll put all the links to those videos I played tonight in the show description so you guys can go check it out on your own. And as always, if you ain't looking up, well, you ain't looking out for ufology. Truthology for ufology. He does it for you. That was creepy. Oh, I don't want to ever hear that one again. All right. Well, we'll see you on what's tomorrow? Thursday. We'll see you Thursday. Be safe out there. Alien bless. Hey.
There's a good thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies of mysteries, and why did it sound like the most treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new data study that sounds like making proof for not alone universe. UFO, form of bright light, descending over the dome of the rock.